Hi, this is Grace Power, and today I'm actually going to be just doing my eyebrows. I already warmed up my sugar here, and this is the soft sugar warmed up. And just going to demonstrate using the strip method, and this is sort of my quick cleanup tip. I did another video just kind of describing this, but I didn't actually show it, so I'm actually going to show it today. Where you just use a little bit bigger strips for the removal, just to make it go a little bit faster. So you wouldn't want to do this if you have a full grown in brow, but it's good for a touch-up. Just because if it was fully grown in, it'd probably hurt a little bit more. So this is the size of the strip. It's a lot wider than the little eyebrow strips that I've used in the past. Alright. So there we go. I have the camera behind me and I'm kind of shooting into the mirror, so a little bit different shot than usual. Okay, so you can see how that just kind of takes a big area, removes it all at once. So I shouldn't say always, but I tend to do the first strip in the opposite direction of the hair growth. So I'll put it on the opposite direction of the hair growth, and then I'll pull off with the direction of hair growth. And actually with sugar, it helps to let the sugar sit on. So I'm just going to let that sugar sit on for a little bit. Let me see, I think I can actually do the top part as well. I think that's what I was doing last time. I had to kind of remember what I did. I did the top and the bottom at the same time. So you want to make sure that the sugar is warmed up enough that it's going on thin like this, and I just warmed my sugar up in the microwave. So if you don't have like a wax warmer, the microwave works fine. If you do have the sugar with the metal lid, just make sure you take the lid off before putting it into the microwave. And I did this for 30 seconds. It was about 3/4 full. And it's working out pretty good. It's not hot, but it's just warmish, and it's more like a honey consistency compared to like if I was using the paste method, I would want it to be thicker. So putting the strip on, putting a little bit of pressure, and then here we go for the removal in the direction of hair. And you can see that strip. And then just take another clean strip, push onto the sugar, and then remove it in the direction of hair. Okay, so you can see how nice and quick that is for just a quick cleanup. And if I was in a hurry, like, in the morning, let's say I was doing this in the morning and just kind of trying to get this done fast and off to work, I could probably just do that and just be done with it. But I have a little more time today, so I'm going to go back and do a little more cleanup after doing this side. You can see how nice and easy that is to just be able to remove the top and the bottom at the same time, and makes it nice and easy. And when you don't have too much hair, it doesn't hurt that bad or anything. You do want to make sure you're pulling the skin tight when you're pulling it off, because otherwise you could potentially bruise your skin or worst case even pull off pull off some skin if you're not holding the skin tight. So I kind of want to let that sit on, because sometimes when you let the sugar sit on, it just helps the hair come out easier. So let me just, while I'm letting it sit on, I'm just going to kind of mold over. Make sure that that sugar is wrapped nice around all the hairs. Okay, so I'll do kind of this section first, top and bottom at the same time. Pull the skin tight over here, and I'm kind of like lifting up my eyebrow too to hold the skin. Rip off. Strip. Lots of hair. And I'm actually going to use this to kind of clean up. There was a little bit that didn't come off. Okay, now this part, top and bottom, press, hold the skin tight, pull off in the direction of the hair. Little section here that didn't come off. Okay. So that's looking good. Now, what I like to do before putting down the next piece, I'm just going to clean off the sugar residue. Usually you can feel kind of like a little bit of a sticky residue on the skin. So just clean that off just to kind of give yourself a nice clean slate. I was just thinking I probably want to apply some powder on this next. My little guy got into my powder and poured it down the sink the other day, so that's what happens sometimes when you got a 3-year-old around. You can't leave stuff where they can get into it. Okay, so now this time I'm actually going to go with the direction of the hair. And the reason I do that is just because for me it helps me get a little bit better of a shape. I feel like I can get up there into the arch and I'm not, you know, going against the grain, which sometimes can make it difficult if you're going against the hair growth to get like the exact arch shape that you want. So that's just my own little preference. So again, take this big strip so you can put it over the whole thing and pull against the hair growth this time. And actually I don't know if you can see how much hair, there's quite a bit of hair that even came out of that one. So even though it looked pretty clean, it's surprising when you go to take it out how much hair is actually still there. Okay, again, pull tight, pull it off. This one didn't have quite as much hair. And it's looking really good. And you can see just how fast that is by doing the top and the bottom at the same time. So cleaning off that sugar residue again. Because sugar is water soluble, you just need a water-based cleanser, or like this is just plain water on a washcloth there. And then this one's dry, just kind of dab up the wetness. I'll look up close to see, you know, there is actually a little more right in here that I'd like to get and a little bit here. So let's just do that now. If your brows were really sensitive at this point, I'd recommend just tweezing these hairs if you wanted to get them, or doing a little more sugaring the next day. You don't want to over stimulate the skin. Sugar is much safer and less aggressive than traditional waxes, but it still is pulling off that top layer of dead skin. So the more you keep going over, the more chance of it pulling off more skin or just irritating the skin. So just kind of be careful. Like right now, when you look at my skin, I'm not red, I'm not irritated. So my skin's kind of used to this. But some people have, more sensitivities, or even if their hair is thicker, or if you don't pull the skin tight when you pull the piece off, you're definitely gonna feel a little more irritation. Okay, that got nice into that arch. Oh yeah, and I don't know if you can see that strip, I'm sorry. There, maybe you put it like that. I have my camera behind me, so it's I'm like trying to figure out how do you see that strip? Alright, that is looking good. Much better than it did. There's something for me whenever I do my brows, part of the reason is because I do wait quite a long time in between my brows. Just because I keep putting it off and then I'm like, okay, I really need to do it now. So then when I do it, I just feel so good. I'm going to do a little tweeze. I see one hair, or a couple hairs maybe. Usually with sugar, you'll find you don't have to tweeze very much, but sometimes there's one or two hairs, especially on brows, because if they're just really short, they won't come out. Okay, a little tweezing on this side. And that looks good. Maybe this one there. A little blondie. Okay, so I would say that's good to go. Hopefully you like that tip. And again, just to kind of show you, if you have like a full-size strip, then the size that you want to cut it to is in 1/4 of that. So you would cut it, in half this way and then in half that way, and that gives you that perfect size to do the top and the bottom on most sized faces. So let me know how it goes for you, and if you need sugar, head to Vidazzle.com. You can sign up for promo codes in a link below. I'll leave a link below this video.
How can I get in the video?
You want to be in the video? You want to say goodbye to them? Say goodbye.
Hi. Bye.
Bye.